The most productive solopreneurs have a secret. They have figured out how to make their Mac do the typing for them. In this episode, you will discover a simple built-in Mac feature to instantly expand your most used phrases and links, a clever Keynote template trick using a free app to set up entire project folders in one click, and a simple automation that fills out forms and tracks your time for you, saving both unnecessary clicks and repetitive typing.
Seriously, how many times a day do you find yourself typing the exact same information?
Yeah.
It's those little moments, right? You barely notice them, but they're silently eating away at your day, just draining your productivity.
Exactly. And what if you could, reclaim those tiny fragments of time and attention?
Right.
Today, we're taking a deep dive into 3 powerful, actionable strategies to dramatically cut down on that repetitive typing.
Okay.
We've pulled insights from Damien's Macpreneur episodes 61 through 63, so this should give you a real shortcut to mastering this.
Yeah, and this deep dive, part of that larger conversation Damien often has on Macpreneur about what he calls the 3 killers of Mac productivity.
Unnecessary clicks, repetitive typing, and file clutter.
Exactly. So our mission today is to arm you with practical ways to tackle that second killer, repetitive typing. We'll explore text replacement, templates, and automation.
Get ready for some, hopefully some real aha moments that'll save you hours.
Okay, so let's start with the problem itself. It's almost like a hidden tax on our time, isn't it?
Totally.
As Mac solopreneurs, we're often just unaware of how much time we're losing to this repetitive typing. I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
Entering your email address or a standard response or drafting full email replies, preparing reports, it really adds up.
It absolutely does, and it's a huge blind spot for so many of us. Damien on Macpreneur, he actually recommended an application called Mouse Miles.
Oh, yeah, to track this stuff.
Exactly. Track your keystrokes, really quantify the scale of the issue. He shared that on his iMac, over just 3.5 months, he recorded something like 280,000 keystrokes.
Wow. That sounds like a lot.
It is. That's roughly 70,000 words.
Yeah.
And at his average typing speed, that worked out to a whopping 24 hours of pure typing.
24 hours, typing the same things over and over.
Well, not necessarily the same things, but just typing in general. And yeah, while improving your typing speed helps a bit, the real game changer comes from smarter solutions that just eliminate a lot of that typing altogether.
Okay, let's unpack this. So if you're looking to start recouping that time, like right away, the fastest way is definitely text replacement. The core idea is incredibly simple. You type just a few characters.
Like a shortcut.
Yeah, exactly, a shortcut. And they immediately extend into several words, multiple paragraphs, even those long, complex URLs you hate typing.
And it's not just about raw speed, is it? It's also about the cognitive load.
That's a great point. Imagine not having to recall complex info or phrase common responses perfectly every time.
Yeah.
Your brain is just freed up for, the real work, creative stuff, problem solving. It keeps you in the flow.
Absolutely. And your Mac actually has a surprisingly robust text replacement capability built right in.
Right, it's already there.
Yeah, you'll find it in your keyboard settings. It might be under System Settings if you're on Ventura or later, or System Preferences for older Mac OS versions. Look for a section called Text or Text Replacements.
And it's simple, right? You just define a short phrase, like an abbreviation.
Yeah, the snippet.
The snippet, right. And then the longer text it expands into. Now, when you're setting these up, there are a few tips Damien shared back in Macpreneur episode 61 that are pretty crucial.
Okay, like what?
Well, first, choose a unique prefix for your snippets, something you definitely don't type normally. Damien uses a comma.
Smart, so you don't trigger it accidentally.
Exactly. Second, you can replace multiple paragraphs. Just type your long text in notes or pages, copy it, paste it into the replacement field. Boom, line breaks are preserved.
Oh, that's handy. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And third, this is where it gets really powerful. It syncs via iCloud.
Ah, nice.
So define a snippet on your Mac, and it's instantly available on your other Macs, your iPhone, your iPad. It's seamless.
That's a huge plus.
And one more pro tip from Damien. You back these up. Just select them all in the settings window, drag them to your desktop or a folder, creates a little file.
Good to know for safekeeping or sharing. Okay, so the built-in tool is useful.
Very useful, especially to start.
But it does have limitations, right? Like it doesn't store formatting, bold, italics, things like that.
Correct. Which often leads people, once they get into it, to look for more advanced options.
And that brings us to tools like Text Expander.
Yes. This is the tool Damien says he uses the most because it goes beyond just simple expansion. It brings in like dynamic customization.
Okay, what do you mean by dynamic?
Well, you're not just pasting static blocks of text. You can intelligently generate content that changes based on context. So imagine including whatever's on your clipboard.
Oh, neat.
Anywhere in the expanded text, or using the tab key or return key within your snippets to jump between fields, or creating fill-in fields, little pop-up boxes asking for specific info, or even pick lists with predefined options like choosing Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday for a meeting.
Right, so it prompts you for the variable parts.
Exactly. And it can insert today's date or calculate future dates like today plus 10 days. It's really flexible.
And what's fascinating here too is its cloud-based, multi-platform nature. Mac, iPhone, iPad, Windows.
Even a Chrome extension for Linux, I think.
Right. So your snippets are everywhere you work. Plus, you can share groups of snippets with others. Great for teams.
Totally. And Damien's personal experience, which he talked about in Macpreneur episode 61, really highlights the impact. Get this. He saved 26 hours and 40 minutes.
Wow.
In just 3.5 months using Text Expander.
That's significant. What kind of things does he use it for?
Well, simple stuff like expanding MMD into the current date formatted as YYYMMDD for file naming.
Ah, that's clever. Consistent naming.
Yeah. And even for his Apple Newsflash newsletter, he expands -NFGPT inside ChatGPT.
Mm-hmm.
That snippet includes a predefined prompt and his clipboard content, which has article titles and URLs to get summaries quickly.
Okay, that's advanced usage, integrating with other tools.
Mm-hmm. And he uses the dash prefix for Text Expander to keep them separate from the comma prefix built-in ones.
That makes sense. But it does bring up a good point for any text expansion tool, built-in or third-party. The two main hurdles are always, 1, defining snippets carefully so you don't trigger them by accident, and 2, remembering them all.
Oh, definitely. Remembering them is tough.
Yeah. And that's where Text Expander has another neat trick. A keyboard shortcut, Command equal, pops up a search bar so you can quickly find the snippet you need.
Okay, that's super helpful. Solves the memory problem. So text replacement, huge leap for short to medium stuff.
Absolutely. Speed and cognitive offload.
But what about longer things, like structured documents or emails where just expanding snippets isn't quite enough?
Exactly. So if text replacement handles those quick bursts, then templates become your go-to tool for that more extensive structured content.
Right.
This was a key focus of episode 62. It's all about creating reusable structures so you're not starting from scratch every time.
This is where it gets really interesting for me. I used to waste so much time sending similar emails or creating similar documents. It's like reinventing the wheel constantly.
It's such a common pain point, isn't it? Especially for solopreneurs. We send common replies, outreach emails, check-ins.
All the time.
Instead of rewriting, templates let you standardize your communication, keep your voice consistent, and save a ton of time.
Okay, so how do we do this? Let's talk email first.
Sure. With the built-in Mail app on your Mac, you can actually use signatures pretty cleverly as templates.
Signatures.
Really?
Yeah.
The trick, Damien mentioned this in episode 62, is to check the box in Mail settings that says place signature above quoted text.
Okay.
Then you create multiple signatures, but instead of just your name, they contain the entire body of a common email. You name them things like outreach template or support reply 1.
Ah, I see. So when you reply,
You just choose the appropriate signature from the dropdown and boom, your email is pre-filled.
that's a neat hack. What about other email clients? If you're a Gmail user, it has its own powerful built-in template feature. You might need to activate it first in settings. See all settings, advanced tab templates. Enable it there.
Once it's on, when you compose or reply, click the 3 dots at the bottom right, and you'll see options to save the current draft as a template, insert existing templates, or delete them. Works for subject and body.
Nice. And Outlook.
Outlook also lets you define multiple signatures, like mail, and it has 2 types of templates. Snippets, which are quick text blocks you can insert anywhere, and full email templates for complete messages.
So lots of options depending on your email app.
Definitely. But there's an important consideration, the trade-off between integration and shareability.
Meaning?
Well, these in-app templates are convenient, but they're usually stuck inside that specific app. If you use, say, the Gmail web interface and the Apple Mail app.
The templates don't sync between them. Got it.
Exactly. So Damien's advice on Macpreneur is often to pick the native platform you use most and stick with its templates for consistency. Like if you're mainly in Gmail Online, use the Gmail templates there.
Makes sense. Okay, Let's move on to document templates. This is where I think the real time saving happens sometimes.
Oh, for sure. Because the biggest productivity killer is often reinventing the wheel with documents. Or worse.
Copying an old one and forgetting to delete some old info.
Been there.
We've all been there.
A real template starts you fresh every single time, but with the structure you need already baked in.
Okay, how do we set these up? Google stuff first.
Right. For Google Docs, Slides, or Sheets, there's a key requirement. You need a Google Workspace account. It doesn't work for personal Google accounts, unfortunately.
Ah, good to know. So for workspace users.
You save templates from the application's homepage, like docs.google.com. Go to the template gallery, find your organizations tab, and click Submit Template. To use one, you either pick it from the gallery on the homepage or find it in Google Drive via New.
Got it. What about Microsoft Office? Word, Excel, PowerPoint?
That's generally simpler. You just go File Save As and change the file type drop-down to the template format, like ... text for Word.
Okay.
Then when you go to File New, you'll see a Personal or Custom tab with your saved templates ready to use.
Nice and easy. And Apple's tools. Pages, Numbers.
Also very straightforward. Pages and Numbers have a File Save As template. And your custom templates then just show up at the bottom of the template chooser when you create a new document.
Okay, but what about Keynote? This one always tripped me up. You can't save a Keynote file as a template, right? Only themes.
Exactly. You notice that too. You can save themes, which are just the slide layouts, the master slides, without any actual content. So how do you template a whole presentation with starting slides already filled in?
Yeah, how do you do that?
This is a great example where you need a slightly different approach. Damien's solution, which he covered in Macpreneur episode 62, involves creating your master Keynote file. First, all the slides, structure, placeholder text you need.
Okay, so you have your ideal starting presentation.
Right. Then he uses a third-party app called Posthaste. That's Posthaste. It was originally made for videographers to set up project folders, but it's super versatile for any kind of project that has a consistent structure. It creates entire project folders based on templates, not just single files.
Ah, okay, so it manages the whole project setup.
Precisely. Here's how it works. First, you define a standard naming convention for your projects in Posthaste. It can mix static text, auto-incrementing numbers, dates, even pick lists. That name becomes the name of your main project folder.
Okay, like client name, project number, date.
Exactly. Then you define a project template within Posthaste. This can be just one file or a whole complex folder structure with empty subfolders and some pre-filled template files inside.
So for the Keynote example,
you just drag and drop your pre-made Keynote template file into the Posthaste template structure. Posthaste is smart. If your file name contains the word template, it can automatically replace that word with the actual project name you defined earlier.
oh, that's slick.
Yeah. So when you need a new project, you open Posthaste, select your template, fill in any fields like client name or project number, click Create Project, and it instantly builds the entire folder structure, copies in your Keynote file, renames it correctly. All done.
Wow. That saves a ton of manual copying, pasting, renaming, folder creation.
Exactly. Damien uses it for every new Macpreneur episode. It sets up a main folder, drops in his recording Keynote template, creates a subfolder with a teaser Keynote template, adds empty subfolders for video files. It tackles both repetitive typing and unnecessary clicks.
That's a fantastic workflow. Okay, so templates are the answer for standardizing longer, more complex content, even multi-file projects.
For sure.
But what about those situations where maybe a template is too rigid, like you need to fill in multiple different fields in an application window, or there are slight variations each time?
Great question. That's where we move beyond static solutions and into true automation. If text replacement is for quick snippets and templates are for structured content, automation is for those dynamic, complex, multi-step inputs and workflows. And your Mac has a powerful free tool built right in for this. The Shortcuts app.
Ah, Shortcuts. I've seen it, maybe played with it a little. Seems powerful, maybe a bit intimidating.
It can seem that way, but Damien in Macpreneur episode 63 described it really well. Think of it like building with Lego bricks.
Okay, I like Lego.
You just stack different actions on top of each other. These actions aren't just about text. They can talk to your apps.
Like fetch calendar appointments.
Exactly. Or create reminders. They can ask you for input using text fields or lists. They can manipulate data, do calculations, process text. They can even use logic like, if this condition is true, do this set of actions, otherwise do that set.
You build a sequence of these actions.
Right. And once it's built, you just trigger it, click a button, use a shortcut, and it runs the whole process automatically, step by step.
It sounds powerful, but maybe complicated to learn.
Damien suggests starting small if you're new. Just pick one recurring typing annoyance, something tedious that text replacement or templates don't quite fix. Try automating just that one thing.
Makes sense. Start simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're completely new, just open the Shortcuts app on your Mac and look at the gallery section. Apple provides a bunch of pre-built automations that can already make your life easier and give you ideas.
Good tip. Okay, can you give a concrete example? Like, how does Damien use this?
Sure. He shared a great one in episode 63 for customizing his time tracking entries for the Macpreneur podcast using an app called Timery.
Okay, time tracking. That can be repetitive.
Totally. And the cool part is, because he uses Timery on his Mac, iPhone, and iPad, and the automation syncs via iCloud using standard actions, it works seamlessly across all his devices.
Nice. So what does the automation do?
Okay, here's the flow he described. First, when he runs the shortcut, it shows a list of common podcast activities like brainstorm topics, prepare episode, record episode, etc. He just taps the one he's about to do.
Simple selection, no typing yet.
Right. Then, if it's not a brainstorming activity, it asks for the episode number. And that's the only thing he needs to type in the whole process.
One number. Okay.
Then it asks when he wants the timer to start. Now. 5 minutes ago. Or, and this is a specific Timery feature he mentioned in Macpreneur.com, episode 55 at the last stop time.
Got it. More choices, still no typing.
Exactly. Once he makes those selections, the Shortcuts automation automatically starts a new timer in Timery with all the details pre-filled, the correct project, the right tags based on his initial selection. Done.
Wow. That's a true double whammy, as he'd say. Reduces repetitive typing and unnecessary clicks.
Precisely. And if you happen to use Timery, Damien actually shared this specific automation. You can find it at Macpreneur.com, episode 63, to import it and see how it works, maybe tweak it for yourself.
That's really helpful for learning. Okay, so you build these cool automations. How do you actually run them quickly on the Mac? You don't want to be digging through the Shortcuts app every time.
Good point. You've got 3 main ways to make them easily accessible. 1, pin it to the menu bar. In the shortcut settings, there's a checkbox, Pin in Menu Bar. A little shortcuts icon appears up top, you click it, and your pin shortcuts are right there.
Convenient. What else?
2, assign a keyboard shortcut. In the same settings area, you can assign a unique key combination. Great for shortcuts you use constantly, but you do need to be careful not to conflict with other app shortcuts.
True. And the third way?
3, and this is quite powerful, save it as an application. You can right-click the shortcut in the app and choose Add to Dock. This actually creates a standalone .app file.
An actual application?
Yeah. It saves it in an Applications folder inside your user home folder.
What are the advantages of that?
Huge advantages. You can launch it using Spotlight Search. Just hit Command Space, type the shortcut's name, hit Enter, boom.
Ooh, I like that. Fast.
And even better, because it's an app, you can assign it to hardware buttons, like on a Stream Deck. Damien does this for his Macpreneur time tracking shortcut. One button press runs the whole thing.
So you're stacking productivity techniques there. Less typing, fewer clicks, and faster launching.
Exactly. It really shows how these techniques build on each other. So automation via shortcuts is your advanced tool for complex multi-field entries, getting you a level of customization and efficiency way beyond basic text replacement or static templates.
Okay, that's a lot to take in, but incredibly powerful stuff. We've covered 3 really distinct strategies today to help you conquer repetitive typing on your Mac.
We really have. First, we explored text replacement. We looked at macOS's built-in feature, which is a great starting point, and then the more robust text expander for dynamic content and cross-platform use. Perfect for quick expansions, saving potentially dozens of hours, like Damien showed in episode 61.
Right. Then we dove into templates. We saw how to streamline emails using features in Mail, Gmail, and Outlook, and how to create reusable document structures in Google Workspace, Microsoft Office, Pages, Numbers.
And even Keynote, using that clever post-haste workflow Damien shared in episode 62 to manage entire project setups, not just single files.
Yeah, that post-haste trick was eye-opening. And finally, we uncovered the magic of automation with the Shortcuts app.
We saw how it can handle multi-field inputs, interact with apps, and manage complex workflows, saving both typing and clicks, just like Damien's time tracking example from episode 63.
Our mission today was really to give you actionable takeaways, and I really hope you found some of those aha moments, things you can actually use.
Me too.
So now for your provocative thought to take away from this deep dive. What's one small recurring typing annoyance in your daily workflow that you could tackle with one of these strategies, maybe even starting today?
Yeah. Could it be automating a common email reply, creating a template for your meeting notes, or building just a simple shortcut for something you type all the time? Pick one small thing.
Good challenge. Start small, get a win.
Exactly. And if you want to find out how well you're currently coping with all three killers of Mac productivity clicks, typing, and clutter and get some personalized tips,
Where should people go?
make sure to visit macpreneur.com/score. That's macpreneur.com/score to get your score and boost your Mac productivity today.
I'm back. In the next episode, the AI audio overview will revisit the last 4 episodes of Season 2 aimed at helping you tame file clutter. So make sure to subscribe or follow this podcast to get it automatically next week. And until next time, I'm Damien, wishing you a great day.
Thank you for watching the Macpreneur podcast. If you've enjoyed the show, please leave a comment and share it with a friend right now.